Meat City, baby.
Hello and welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with a video series for the game Aground. This is a game that was recently on the Xbox Games with Gold package. So if you had an Xbox Live Gold subscription, this was one that you could get for free. And I picked it up kind of on a whim and I thoroughly enjoyed it. This was a great game, right up my alley. I played through the whole thing, completed it, finished all the achievements, and I enjoyed it so much that I thought I wanted to go back, do another playthrough, and put together some content for the channel in the form of a 1,000 gamer score or an all the trophies playthrough. So what I'm going to do is full playthrough of the game and focus on all of the achievements. Now there's in-game achievements, which they call medals. So I'll go here and look, and you can see there's 90 of them. And that's not what I'm talking about. There's more here than there are in the standard Xbox achievements. Here there are, we can see 56 to get the full 1,000 gamer score. So you can do all of those 1,000 gamer score achievements without doing all of the in-game medals for the 90 out of 90. So I won't be focusing on the in-game, going for the 1,000 gamer score or the platinum trophy if you're on PlayStation. And the way I'm going to do it, I'm going to try and focus, right? I'm going to cut out a lot of the fat. I'm going to cut out anything that isn't related directly to acquiring the achievements to finish the game. There is some cool story here and some interesting flavor for the game. It's good. It's not great. It's not vital. I'm going to skip over a lot of the text, right? So that doesn't bog things down. When you're playing the game, I encourage you to read that text and kind of immerse yourself in the story and get more of a feel for it. But I don't want to slow the playthrough down, so I'll skip through that. And also, when I get to a point where, okay, the next thing we need to do is build X, and I need to acquire a bunch of resources, rather than have the full playthrough slow down as I go and grind out those resources, I'll still show you what I'm doing. You'll still see it, where I go, how I get the resources, but I'll speed those parts up so there'll be an accelerated playback, and I won't have commentary over that. So it'll kind of zip through that. You'll know where to go and what to do, but it'll go much faster and won't bog us down. And if you need to slow anything down, you can of course always use the YouTube playback features to do so. So as you saw, 56 achievements, quite a lot. This is a substantial game. It's not a quick playthrough, but it is a lot of fun, and there isn't too much kind of crazy side path, random chasing things down. There is a little bit of that. It is a little bit obscure, but it's not like find the 100 collectibles that are hidden at random points throughout the game and all that stuff. So let's just go for some randomness here. And, very limited character selection. You can see from the art style early on here, we've got a little bit of pixel vibe, a little bit of a Terraria feel. And that's the closest, I think, comparison to anything that I've played before. It is Terraria similar in a lot of ways. It's not Minecraft because it's 2D rather than 3D. It is a side scroller, but you're doing digging and flying, and you build things and you chop down trees and you mine resources. So very Terraria-like on that level, but it has this story, and it's not as esoteric as Terraria. Terraria, it's like, randomly run into the thing and then rub these two materials together to summon a boss, and if you defeat that boss, you go into hard mode, right? This is much more of a bit guided. It's more focused. You'll be given some information, and they'll say, figure this out by solving this problem, and you'll be a little bit more direct in what you have to do, which is nice. I like it. In terms of the environment, it's more closed in. Terraria could be this vast, sprawling world where you dig down for 3 minutes straight until you finally get to the lower levels. Not so here. There's digging, there's depth, there's levels, but it's more tight. You don't have to spend 20 minutes trying to look for the one random resource. You go in the right area and you dig down a little bit and you'll get there. So Terraria, but tighter, I think, is the best that I can come up with. So a little bit early on here, this first episode is largely going to be tutorial-esque. They introduce you to how the game world works, and we're just going to kind of roll through this really quickly and pound out a couple of quick achievements that the game hands to you, right? So we're going to collect some wood. We can't do much else. We can pick some berries. Why not? We'll grab them on the way. Purple berries and red berries. And so one of the mechanics in the game you can see here is that you carry stuff. You have a weight to you. And once you surpass your amount of weight that you can carry naturally, you start to overexert yourself. So you can still do it. You can overload yourself, but there's a cost. It's increased stamina drain. And when your stamina drains, that's the green bar you can see in the lower left corner. When your stamina gets to 0, then your health starts to rapidly decline too. So you can take direct health damage from enemies, from attacks, but also if your stamina goes, then you're going to start to take health damage. So you can die quickly from carrying too much. So something you need to be aware of. Okay, so we come over here and we can repair this hut. And it says we need 8 wood. We've got 4. We'll accept. And great, we can drop 4 of the 8 off. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Very simple. And there we go. Shelter is complete. And first achievement for completing the shelter. Very straightforward, very easy. And a number of these will be kind of this. As you just progress through the story and do the things that are obvious to do, you'll get them. But there's 56, so they're not all going to be quite so easy. Okay, let's... Yes, somebody is asking for help. We will say yes. And we get our first friend. So now we can see that the hut is built, and this kind of functions as our quick save. If you drop by the hut, you can hit up, it'll save your game and also recharge your stamina. So if you're out chopping, digging, whatever, you're running your stamina down, make it back to the hut, save, stamina will refill. If it's nighttime and you hit up, or if it's late evening, you'll not only save, restore stamina, but you'll also advance to the next morning. So you can skip the nighttime if you want to do so. And you won't always want to do so for reasons that we'll talk about a little bit later. Okay, so this guy is the builder, I believe. And he wants 8 wood and 4 purple berries to make a storehouse. So we'll tell him, great, we can do that. And he gives us an axe so that we can start to chop down trees rather than just pick up the random wood. So he wants purple berries. And so now we can, chopping gets mapped to your A key, but since it's our only weapon, we can also use X and chop. Now, notice I grabbed a tree seed there. And so this is one of the advantages to having already completed my playthrough. I know some of the things to look out for. You need those tree seeds. Again, something we'll talk about later, but you need, it's either 6 or 8, and they have to come from these very regular plain trees, not pine trees, not other kinds of trees. And the places where you can find these plain trees are very limited. It's this starting island and one other place. So while you can chop down and get these tree seeds here, and then store them, and once it's either 6 or 8, and again we'll get into it. I think grab 10, hang on to them, don't waste them, and then you'll be all set, because the trees will grow back as you chop them down. If you let them go for a little bit, a new tree will pop up in its place. You can chop it down again, get more wood, maybe get a seed. You don't always get a seed, but if you build over the tree, build a building, a farm, lots of the stuff that we'll get into, then that tree won't grow back. So you can very quickly eliminate your source of plain trees to get their seeds. So get the seeds now, don't chop all the trees down, or don't clear all the trees, right? You can chop them down, collect, just don't build over them all until you've got those 10 tree seeds. All right, so we got a level up there. Everything you do in the game contributes to your experience bar, which helps you level up. And as you can see early on, we start with just 10 skill points. You'll get more and more and more as you go through the game. There is a very easy respec option, so don't stress about this too much. It's always easy to shift points around and undo and redo things without any cost. Again, once you reach a certain point. So, you know, what's important now is health, stamina. I don't think so attack is 50 points, right? We can't do anything with that yet. And more options will show up later. So we've got just this range is the bottom. A couple more will fill in as we go, as you get further in the game that you can put points into. So right now, you know, weight could be good, stamina could be good, but I think health is an easy one, and we'll just bank the rest of the points for next time. All right, let's see how we're doing here. If you hit right bumper, you can always see the status of your quests. So we've got 10 wood, we're already ready to go. We just need a couple of more purple berries. So let's go with those here. And these are purple. And we just need one more. And I'm trying to collect the berries, but the tree's right here, so we might as well chop it down. And there we go, pick berries. If you're too close to something, sometimes, especially the other characters that you'll meet can kind of get in the way. If you turn away from them, that will kind of help you select the thing if two things are overlapping. If you're looking away from it, you usually won't select it. So like if I wanted to get to the berries here, I get on this side, and now you can see pick berries or talk. So this should finish up the quest. And now we can build a storehouse. So one thing to keep in mind, space is limited, especially early on. Later, things will open up a little bit with some more options, but you want to build things as close as possible so you have as much room to build things as possible. If I leave this kind of a gap between the two buildings, there's not much that's going to fit in there, and I've wasted some space, and I might not be able to put that last building on the end. So I'm going to put it on the right side because there's more room to the right to fill things in terms of farmland and collecting. We just want the storehouse to be as close as possible to those things. And that looks like as close as we're going to get it. Now notice there's a bush behind us. That bush will disappear because we're building over it. I don't know about the tree. We might be... I think the tree... It looks like the tree's okay. I don't know if I chop it down, it might not come back because there is a little bit of overlap there. And now we can see this storehouse. This is unlimited free storage. Anything you get at any time can go in here. And I'm gonna give you a big tip early on that I figured out way too late in the game. Use these move all buttons and use these category buttons. So right now, all is obviously everything, but you can limit things to just meat or food items. You can limit things to just resources, wood and mining materials and all that, or animals. And if you want to quickly find stuff, because again, you'll start to carry a lot of very different items, use these categories. If there's something you want to hold on to, if I say, oh, I need my meat, that's my heal, right bumper, and you can star it. And then if I hit move all, everything but what's starred will move over. And so this is confirming this is going to move everything. Yep. And I don't want you to ask me again. So the starred item stayed and everything else went over. So the other thing that we can do while we're in here, if we go into our inventory and we have the meat button, how do you use the meat without coming into your inventory? Well, there's quick select. So if I'm in here and I don't know if it's set up yet, it looks like maybe I can't do it yet. Usually you can assign a quick select bar, but that might come in a little bit later once we advance. So I don't think we can do that quite yet. And doing the storehouse now brings us a new person. And she's the miner. She can kind of go underground and she'll collect things for us. Usually it's just a little bit of coal. It's not much, but it's better than nothing, and she'll be useful in that way. And there we go. We get a stone pickaxe to go with our regular stone axe. So now we've got some tools to chop trees above ground and mine underground. So we can rest as it says, but before we do that, let's chop down this tree. Let's see if it's going to grow back. And I do see the stump there, so I think we're still good with that. Collect some berries. And we can see our weight at the lower end there of the inventory screen, 50 out of 50. So we are full. If we picked up anything else, we would be overweight, and then we would start burning stamina. So we can come back, again, face away from her because she's blocking the storehouse. And if we select move all, everything gets dropped in there, and we've got most of our carrying capacity back. Okay, another level up. This time you can see we got 14 points. So again, the number of points you get each time you level up will continue to go up. So we'll go 6. Let's get a little more weight. And that's fine. Again, these points early on, and you can see here are some of the new items. I think bargaining is the new one there. So increase the sell cost of items. Well, we don't know how we sell things yet, but you can see that that's going to be coming. So that's fine. And this is kind of combat for a lot of the game, especially early on. It is, especially if you're doing melee, you're kind of going to get in there and you're going to trade hits. There are some blocking mechanics and some other damage mitigation effects, but it is very simplistic. It's, you know, I'm going to hit you and then you're going to hit me back. And, you know, hopefully you've got just enough stamina and life and you're dealing more damage so that you can win that fight. So I do have to say, I love the look of this game. You know, the pixel art is cool, but this view is one of the challenges for sure. This is super zoomed in, very little peripheral view of what's going on around you. It drove me nuts when I started, and thankfully there is a way to deal with it and to make it better. And I will do that as soon as I can, because I think it's one of the ways that improves the game dramatically, and I will stick with it the rest of the game, and I'll explain how that works as soon as we get to it. But if this zoomed in view is bothering you, like it bothered me when I started playing, there is a remedy coming. Okay, so every once in a while when you meet a new character, it's a good idea to go save in the hut. There might be a little bit of a story advancement, which will give you some new quests and kind of move things along. So as you can see, the trees, there are special drops. Usually it's wood, sometimes it's a seed, sometimes it's apples, and sometimes it's eggs. So there are kind of rare drops and common drops from some of the different things that you can do in the game. So we come all the way over to the right, and we can meet the next new character. And this is the hunter. And of course, we will accept. And right, he's teaching us that you can get a surprise attack. If you hit something from behind, it counts as a critical hit and does double damage. All right, so now we've got a couple of quests. We can dig and get some coal, and we can build a bow and defeat some boars. Before we do that, come down here to meet our next new friend, and he is an important one. Okay, so this guy wants some dragon blood. And those come from worms, which are underground. So that matches up well with our need to secure some coal, which also requires us going underground. So let's do that. On the way back, we'll chop down a couple trees, see if we can get a seed. And we get another level up. Let's see, 22 points. I will put 2 into evasion. Like I said, there's a lot of trading of hits early on, and anytime that those bad guys miss, that's great. And then we'll get some extra health. Now, one thing to note is that healing or resting doesn't heal you when you go back and recharge your stamina. So you do need to carry those items with you. Oh, and great. Okay, now we've got our quick bar. You can see here, if we hover over the item we want, like meat, and I hit up on my right stick, oh, that one, it will bind that item to that part on the stick. And I actually have my controller inverted for something else. So I'm gonna go swap that back around to regular so that, because we don't need the inverted controls here. Okay, and there we go. So up on the right stick. So now if I'm out here in the world and I just hit up on the right stick, you can see we get a quick heal. So good to have those items bound to your controller. All right, as you can see, as we dig down, the site is revealing the fog of war around us, so we'll do that. And we're looking for coal. How much do we need? 15. And so these black squares here are coal, so you can see where they are with a little bit of advanced warning. And what's nice here, so in Terraria, you have to be aware of your vertical drop. If you stand on a cliff, okay, we are not able yet to fight that worm since he's too tough. So we'll come back to him. But in Terraria, if I had this big cliff here and I walked over it, I would fall down until I stopped it. I would take damage. Here, as long as there's kind of background, as there's a wall behind you, you can just kind of walk on it. You don't have to build ladders or worry about jumping or whatever. You can dig all the way straight down and then just walk straight back up after that without any issues. So again, slightly different than Terraria, but kind of a nice change to not have to worry about that extra hurdle. All right, we're gonna drop everything off. It's nighttime, so we will rest. And because I think we met some new characters, yep, we'll get another scene. All right, so we're back to the daylight, and let's heal up. And let's try and get those 4 more coal without running into any of those worms, because we can't quite kill them yet. You can see he was just gonna block me every time my weapon isn't strong enough. So enemies in the game have a defense stat, which at some point you'll be able to see, but not right now. And if their defense stat is higher than your damage, you can't damage them. So if their defense is 2 and my weapon has an attack value of 1, I'll hit them, but it'll just say blocked because I didn't do enough damage to overcome their defense. So that just means we need to improve our equipment before we start taking on those enemies. Okay, we've got enough coal. Let's head back. And another nice factor is you don't always need to have all of this stuff on you to complete a quest. Sometimes you do if you're like away from your base, but for things like this, I'm not carrying all of that coal. I'm only carrying 7, but it's enough to get it done because she's at the base and the base has the rest of the items. Okay, again, so we're building a smelter and we want to keep things close. Now, I'm gonna leave a little bit of a gap on purpose. There's something that you wanna build close to your hut later on in the game. And so I am gonna purposely leave a little bit of a gap for that, but that's looking way ahead. Normally, you know, if you wanna build this in real close, like right next to it, so you're not wasting any space, good idea. But I'm gonna leave a little bit of a gap just because I know there's that other thing that I wanna build later, which will go right next to the house. And we get another level up, great. So 22 points. And what I'm actually gonna do is, I think, save these because we want to start getting our, well, now let's just, we're not there yet. Let's dump these points. And 4 will save. And I think that brought in a new character. So this is the farmer, and he will actually help us collect resources from anything farm related that we build here on this location. So he just needs 15 wood. We've got plenty of it. Let's actually chop this tree down. I would really like to chop this tree down. Please move. Okay, and now if we talk to him, we can put up a barn, and we're gonna stack this right on top. And then we can put up a field. And again, we'll keep that right as close as possible, and we get another achievement for building the farm. So you can see this will eliminate the bush, but not the tree. So good. We want to keep the trees as long as possible. We don't have all of our seeds yet. So the way that this works now is the farm, if you enter it, you can see all of your farm fields and resources, and you can manage them all at once. So any of them that are ready, you can click one button and harvest it, and you'll collect all of it onto your inventory, and then you can just shift over and drop it off in your storeroom. Alternatively, you can go out to each individual thing. Here's the crop, and I can manage this field individually, but having the farm lets you do everything all at once. And while you're away, if you're not here, the farmer will tend to this stuff for you. Inefficiently, they're not fast, they're not gonna do a good job, but they will do something. They will collect some of that stuff while you're away. And so he wants to put up an orchard. So we'll let him do that. Again, we'll clear this tree first. Hopefully get a seed, we don't. And we're gonna stack it right next to it. There we go. So now we've got 2 crops going. We still have the worm, and we still need to make a bow. Let's see what else the miner wants. Okay, 5 iron bars. We are nowhere near that yet, but we'll take the quest. And so now we have a torch. So we're holding that in our offhand, and you can see the durability over there, 498 out of 500. That will just go down as long as you're holding the torch in your hand. So I would suggest take it off, leave nothing equipped there until you need the torch. Otherwise, you'll burn it out without getting the value out of it. And we want to get a kitchen going This will help you make better items to heal your health and your stamina rather than just like eating the meat that the boars drop raw. So that's a good idea as well. We just need a little bit more coal for that. Okay, let's make the bow. And we can use the workbench to do that, which I think ended up getting stashed. And so you can see it there at the bottom of the storehouse, but if we go to items, there you can see. Now we just have one item to deal with, and it's very easy to grab it and move it by sorting by category. Okay, and that can easily be picked up and moved. I actually would have preferred it either one space to the left or the right there. I wasn't quite paying attention close enough, but for now it's fine. Again, we can move it whenever we want. And to make a bow, we do need an iron bar. Interesting. Okay, I forgot about that. So we're gonna have to dig and do a little bit more mining first. Okay, so since we are, before we head down, we'll rest. Okay, so now we're full, and let's prepare to head down. So we'll get our torch ready. And we can find a chest with a rusty axe. You can also collect the chest. There's not a whole lot of need to do that, but it's nice to get out of the way. Then you don't have to like look at it and think, oh, did I get that one yet? It's a little hard to tell if they're open or closed. If you collect the chest, then you know you got it. And here we go. You can see these light gray. That's our iron ore. That's what we're looking for. Unfortunately, that worm is being pretty insistent, and there's nothing we can do to fight back against him. And I do need to be careful. I don't have any more meat on me at the moment, so we can't really heal. Okay, we're over our capacity, so we'll head back up. And we can rest. We'll store everything, and then let's see if we have anything on us that can heal. Yep, we got some meat. Okay, let's bring that over. And we have another quest. Let's take that too. Oh, okay, we finished the kitchen. So we can add that over here, but let's drop our stuff first. Okay, another level up. Let's take another health, take another stamina. We'll take a critical. There we go, got ourselves another tree seed. And I did a manual pickup. If you're not over carrying capacity, you can automatically pick up stuff that you mine or kill or whatever. If you're over capacity, you have to manually pick it up by hitting A. So we can see stuff is getting stolen from the warehouse. And there doesn't seem to be anything we can do about it, but that will change shortly. Okay, we'll put the kitchen down. I wanted to get that tree chopped, give it a chance to drop a seed. And you can see how quickly we're taking up all this space and eliminating these trees. So again, focus on getting those seeds early before you wipe everything out. All right, we are going to, we'll chop down these trees so that I'm following my own advice. Heal up, and that means we can pick up a little more wood. And you can see my stamina getting very low. If I let it get too low, I would just drop some stuff so I don't wipe out my health as I'm getting back here. But I think we'll be okay. And there we are. We can drop everything. We'll hang on to the meat. Oh, we need that torch back. And we will favorite that as well. There we go. We won't drop our torch now. Rest. Full stamina. Ready to go. We are looking for iron. And I think we picked up one piece. We need more than that. So let's head back down. We'll use our already dug hole, so we're not wasting stamina getting down here. Stay clear of the worm. There we go. There's some more there. And something new here, I think this is quartz. So that'll be useful a little bit later. We don't need it quite yet, but might as well grab it while we can. And some gold and some diamond, so that's great as well. Let's leave that. We'll come back again with the low amount of stamina we have currently. It's best not to kill ourselves by carrying too much, which can absolutely happen very quickly, especially later in the game. You could go to pick up a big stack of materials and wipe out your entire stamina and then your health very, very quickly. All right, so we'll drop the coal, the iron, the quartz, and then we'll rest since it's nighttime. And I'm gonna go back down and get those couple of things real quick. We'll do one more trip because I think we need some extra stuff anyway. So let's do it before we forget. And there, I'm manually picking that iron up because I didn't pick it up when it dropped. So now, as I'm walking over it, I need to tell it to pick it up, as opposed to newly mined stuff. If I have space, that will go right up. Okay, so we are overweight again. I think we're close enough. Yeah, we can make it back with this. That'll be fine. Rest. Okay, thief, I don't mind you stealing the berries, but the iron, that's a little more valuable. And we'll drop 2 of these just, again, to save some weight. Okay, so now we should be able to put our bow together. And again, nice thing, having stuff in the inventory or in the storehouse counts for making it here in the workbench and the smelter. So let's smelt iron bars. We need to add some fuel. Let's put a couple of these in. Let's make 5. Let's make 6. And we can see over here, we can collect things that are complete. We could cancel, but now that they're all done, we'll collect them all. And then we'll come over to the workbench. Now I should be able to make the bow. Oh, interesting. It's not giving me credit for the wood. I have plenty of wood in here. Okay, so now we made our bow. And that completes his quest. And then we can also do the workshop if we see the miner. She might be underground, so we'll have to, oh, there she is. Let's do that. And we're gonna put this right on top of the kitchen and save that tree. And another achievement, crafting time for building the workshop. So another easy one to do. And we also leveled up, so let's put those points in. 32. I want to start putting in a point into attack here pretty quickly. Weight is important right now. Let's actually do that instead. It'll save us trips up and down, and that can be pretty valuable. And we'll get one more into evasion. Okay, and then we can also complete the Hunter's Quest. And we also get the achievement for backpack, heavy lifter, for acquiring the backpack from the hunter. So I think that's a good place to stop. You got a feel for the game, right? This is the first iteration of the game. Now, just like Terraria, things are gonna ramp up. Things are gonna get to, you know, cool technology, winging about the map, right? Right now, we're struggling to dig, we're running out of stamina, we're like carrying 5 things and running out of energy and dropping off, right? That's the start, but it's gonna ramp up. But it's this style of game. So if you enjoy this style of game, then stay tuned, check out the next video. We're gonna continue to work through, continue to pick up achievements and do our full playthrough of the game. And if this was not for you, this is still what it is. We didn't quite fix, again, this perspective, this super zoomed in thing. I am gonna address that. We didn't quite get to it in this episode. Hopefully by the end of the second one, and things will just be zoomed out a little bit. We'll see a little bit more of what's going on, and I think it makes the game much more enjoyable and playable certainly from my point of view. So that will be the goal at the end of the next video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.